you inspired me to want to be a guy that was accountable for what I am going to do in the business. Like I wasn't going to be the dude in the chicken suit doing some stupid shit. I wasn't going to do this. I said no a million times in this business because of guys like you. How do we keep ourselves inspiring and move forward? What do you think was some of the things that we should look into?
That's man, right on. Good, brother. Good stuff. I think first and foremost, there's choice, the power of choice. You had a choice to say no.
Correct.
We have choices. And so I think a lot of times when artists come, particularly, young people come to Hollywood and they're trying to get into the business, and they particularly women, which are preyed upon, and so you feel like this need to allow bad behavior to give it permission. Now we've had Me Too, so that's empowered to a degree. I think we get there a few ways. I think that self-empowerment, like, you always joke with me like, dude, you keep doing different things. You keep reinventing yourself.
I know.
But see, I don't reinvent myself out of luxury. I reinvent myself out of a blessing first and foremost, because I think, God gives me a talent and gives me a voice. But I reinvent myself out of necessity. And so I think when we understand, particularly as minorities, and I think this is all for all artists, but particularly minorities, because we have another thing at play here. I think it's important to create and own material. Like, listen, you created this podcast.
Correct.
You didn't wait for somebody to say, hey, come on my podcast. You maybe did some guest stars to learn, but you created a show. You get to now dictate the execution, the caliber, the style. You get to, so that control, and I don't mean it as an egotistical sense of control. I'm talking about a control based on pride of work. You now get to shape, hey, I think that there's an audience that wants to hear, this me. I know I'm funny. I know I'm a comedian, but I got other sides to me as well.
Man.
So I'm not just some dude. I'm not just booty call.
Right,
I'm more than booty call.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a part of me, but I'm more than booty.
Yeah.
And so if you take that, I've fought that for years, and I want to give a shout out to Blair Underwood, because you got to realize Law and Order. Not Law, I'm sorry, L.A. Law came out a couple of years before ER. So Blair was a dude, and Stephen Bochco, I was looking at them going, I want to do that. I was in Hollywood. I was in New York. I was in Hollywood. I was going, I want to do that. That's the caliber
exactly.
of things. So we have to, and see, what we have to do is we have to pay it forward. We have to take on that. Right now it's scary. You know why it's scary right now? Because you don't have to have talent to be famous right now.
Yeah.
You don't have to have talent to have 5 million viewers. You can, if you're a woman, you can shake your big ass, your big fake ass sometimes. Your big titty. You can. But
we do know real booties move. We know some
different. Real booty moves. We do move a little different. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. But
stay focused.
So you can be the controversial. You could there are all these. We didn't have all these reality shows growing up. So where's the training for reality show? You get on a real, and I want to be clear here. I mean, people have a right to do their story the way they want to tell their story. I'm addressing what you said. When there is the need for talent, that talent can morph into different things. If there's no need and no definition of talent, if your talent is just simply being loud,
algorithm,
there's no, So what you do is you go, okay, I'm going to be the disruptor on this reality show. I'm just going to be the asshole. And but that's not developing a talent. And so the more talent you have, to answer your question directly, the more talent you have, the more versatility you have, the more ownership you can have. So you have to be talented to do this. You didn't get here because, like you said, you were wearing the chicken suit, you were being the Negro, that's whatever. You're like, I can do some silly stuff, but I also got this side of it. And so now we're running out of that. So I get scared that the future for us might be challenging, because there's some talented young people coming up, but there's also a lot of people that don't require talent.
Yeah, I mean, and the balance of it is really what the conundrum is moving forward, because I've seen it in my business. They'll hire a guy who's got a zillion followers to be on a show, or they'll put him in a movie because he's got 80 million people. Even if he does one scene in the movie, they put him in because he's thinking that that's going to draw people. That's the internet influence. The more people that know about laws of annihilation through the internet, that's more book sales. People that keep hearing buzzwords. Wow, I mean, I saw Eric. Oh my God, he's talking about this. Boom, boom, boom. We have to utilize it to our advantage on certain levels. The sad part about it is you just can't control where it goes.
But that's, that's the sad and the beauty of it. Because listen, what I've learned to do is let go of the stuff that I don't control. The stuff I do control, you know what I control? I control homework. I control showing up. I control being on time. I control improving my craft. I control studying my craft. I control those things. Now, I can't determine. We're pushing hard for obviously for this series. We're pushing for this book to make the bestsellers list. I was talking to my agent today, and I was like, well, we don't control that. We're doing everything we can to make it happen. We're being as smart as possible. We don't control that. So once you take that pressure, because you said it earlier, if God puts you where you need to be.
Yes.
At the time you need to be it. And so listen, man, let's be real. Like these books, people see these books and they're like, man, for the last year I've been turning out a book every 6 months. And like, why you been doing? What they don't understand, dude, I wrote these books 10 years ago and was turned down by every publisher multiple times. Multiple. I mean, I went back to pub. I was putting on fake mustaches. I was wearing trench coats.
Like somehow I'm going to get this book sold.
I was doing
right.
I got turned down multiple times. So I kept at it. I okay, fine. The first one didn't do it. I'm gonna self-publish it. Boom, I self-publish it. It does well. Second one, this one's going, they're going to want this one. Go out, same thing, shoot me down. Well, I'm going to self-publish this. Then my agent says, listen, your writing is too good. You can't self-publish me. I want you to have a publisher. So boom, we find a publisher. They come back, and this is God. They come back and say, what we're going to do, we know you have some new material. We want to go back. We want to rebrand the old material first. And so now I got a second shot.
Fire.
So what we take a lot of times as L's and what we take as defeats, they're lessons. And so this for me was a lesson in perseverance. It was a lesson in tenacity. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So now I've got these. This is helping people like, oh wow. But now what I do control is first thing I said to my agent, I don't want to be a celebrity writer. I don't want to be somebody that's right. I want to be a damn good writer. I want to be a legitimate writer.